I'm telling you, dude. There's more supporters than Kamala voters. I wonder why. Because, and I can't stress this enough, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, okay? This is an issue that transcends beyond political allegiances. It transcends beyond identity politics. It is far more consequential for Americans. Yeah, I did say that. That was funny. He went to the New York court to talk to the supporters that have been apparently flooding Luigi Mangione's arrangement.
Let Luigi back in the kitchen, dog. He was cooking.
Wow.
That's sick.
Let's go.
That is my man.
Healthcare is a human right, not a privilege.
He's a result of what happens when you're in so much pain, the system doesn't care, can't help you. Is it
to actually see that this is going on is, I think, it's criminal.
There's gonna be
Arraignment. Did I say arrangement? Sorry.
so many Luigi Mangiones that they will all be popping out of the snow.
I am in front of the courthouse where Luigi Mangione is about to get arraigned. It is 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, and there are people here that showed up in solidarity. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Let Luigi back in the kitchen, dog. He was cooking, all right? He was on a roll. Let him finish what he started, dog.
Do you think healthcare is a human right?
absolutely?
Oh, wow. Let's go. Talk to
You
me.
know exactly what's going on. And Mayor Adams, how dare you? You're an indicted thief trying to prosecute someone who's innocent. How dare you? This is bigger than CEOs and it's bigger than money. Our children have to have a future of health care as well. Free Luigi, he's innocent.
That is my man.
That's my man.
We all our man.
Okay, can we just talk about how the guy cannot take a bad picture? He's in cuffs. He's being walked around.
Every
He doesn't have,
pose he makes, he just looks wonderful.
Like, I'm
Haircut,
like-
eyebrows, everything on
like
fleek.
every picture I see, I'm like, God damn it!
Why are you this fine?
It's like little grainy surveillance footage. He's like, I got you.
Oh wait, makes sense though. I can't.
Yeah, of course. Wait, are you just realizing this now?
Yeah, it's just one of my posters.
I feel like if you want to kill someone, you should go to Wharton Business School and work for McKinsey, like everyone else.
Of course, that's the only way to do it in the United States.
Yeah. No, that's totally permissible. That's fine. That's actually good. It's encouraged. If you want to kill people, do it the legal way, please. Join the police force. If you want to kill people, do it the legal way, please. Go to business school. Become a CEO. Excuse me. That's not only allowed, but it actually ends up boosting your profile. You get elevated.
That's right. If you want to get away with it,
You want to kill people,
do it the right way.
use AI.
Then you get away with it for a long time.
For me, it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem. I got into an electricity accident and I herniated 2 discs in my neck and 2 in my lower back. And over the 2-year period that they made me wait, I was left with nerve damage. So I am now stuck with nerve damage for the rest of my life. I got 2 major surgeries last December and last October. And now they're saying that my medication is no longer long-term. So I have about 4 days left and no insurance, no job, no money. I'm about to lose everything, so that's why I'm here today.
Do you think healthcare is a human right?
I think it is a human right, yes. We all deserve health care.
Are you here to support Luigi?
I am in support of the people. Healthcare is a human right, not a privilege.
There's gonna be so many Luigi Mangiones that they will all be popping out of the snow.
Who'd you guys vote for?
Damn, that guy got scared, dude. Even this guy was like, okay, lady, hold on now. Look at his face. He's like, all right, calm down.
Out of the snow.
Who'd you guys vote for in the last election?
I should have voted, but I did not.
I vote.
This is the thing that made you come out and say, all right, let's do this.
It felt a little more important, like I actually had a say in the matter. It didn't feel that important, but now I see it is important to also vote. It is.
You know what? The point is that I'm trying to show how people from across the spectrum are
You made it to comedians discuss Luigi. United Healthcare. Wait, what? They put me as a comedian? Oh, no, Stavros. Y'all saw it. It was self-defense. Yeah. Dude, I saw that too.
I saw that, dude.
I
yeah.
saw that. He was
the
literally...
video cuts off. I live in New York. I was there that day.
Yeah.
The video cuts off.
Yeah, it's like really weird. He was brandishing it and saying, I'm going to shoot you, Luigi Mangione.
Luigi, I'm jealous of you. You have abs.
Yeah.
You have thick eyebrows I could never achieve.
Yeah, that's why I won't give you healthcare.
I won't give you healthcare because I'm jealous of you. And now get ready to suck my gun, you dirty Italian.
Yeah.
And then Luigi acted.
He was like, oh, I don't want to do this,
which
please.
It wasn't him, by the way. It was another guy.
Yeah, it was another dude. It wasn't even Luigi. He mistook.
Yeah, he mistook.
The CEO
actually
the guy was thought it was Luigi.
It kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
So it's all a big tragedy of errors here.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Just you know how incompetent these guys are.
It
the
was
police work.
Plus
police
it wasn't
work.
him.
I think we did it.
I think
we should be his defense
Someone put
team.
us on the line with Thomas. What was his name?
Thomas Dickinson or something.
Yeah, Tom
Dickey.
Tom Tricky Dickey.
We got this. We got this. He's acquitted instantly.
It wasn't him. It was Yoshi. I heard he killed him by actually throwing a red shell at him.
Yeah.
Talk about bad branding. They got him in Starbucks right before.
What?
Yeah, they got him on camera in Starbucks.
You watching this video featuring comedians thinking they meant you? Okay, calm down. I am comedian by proxy. Oh my God. We're supposed to sympathize with this thug? 463,000 likes, dude. They hit him with the "he was no hero."
Showing up today, and you just demonstrated that. So thank you.
They're killing people every day with the healthcare system, and motherfucking now one of them got killed who doing this to people, and they're going fucking crazy. They charging this guy with terrorism charges now.
It's pretty easy to see why people are galvanized behind this. You know, we feel like we're all being slowly killed. I think a lot of people don't think they're going to make it to natural death. I think. The only reason we have not rebelled in this country is because we're so, we are able to be comfortable enough. And I think he's a result of what happens when you're in so much pain, the system doesn't care, can't help you, is inadequate. That's why you see everybody supporting him, you know? Everyone's being exploited, charged thousands of dollars every month that they barely have, and then they get nothing out of it. They get sick, and it doesn't actually pay off.
We have universal health care in the UK.
So you're from London. Let me just start from the beginning. In America, we have this time-honored tradition called medical bankruptcy.
To actually see that this is going on is, I think, it's criminal. People being bankrupt because the health insurance is not paying out. We pay national insurance, which is taken straight from our paychecks. So it's taken straight out, and then everybody is covered for healthcare. Basically, you can get.
Fucking hell, lad! He's got international hoes. Okay, stop. We've got the National Health Service. It's pretty nice.
Private healthcare if you choose, but you could literally, if you end up in A&E or you ended up with major surgery, you won't pay anything. And obviously I knew that this system existed in the US, but everything I've been seeing and people's stories on social media, I just can't believe it.
This taxpayer funded healthcare sounds gay, woke, and communist. Hell yeah, brother.
Not anyone else.
Eat the rich, free Luigi. Luigi Mangione supporters protest outside of Manhattan court arraignment.
These are taxpaying dollars for one person. But
they say we murder free. Strange things that happen here, no stranger would it be. We met and been
What the fuck?
Eat the rich! Eat the rich!
Okay, I'm not even kidding. I feel like they got more people showing up to the Luigi Mangione arraignment than they did for the Trump trial, dude. Trump couldn't even get this many people outside of the fucking courthouse. What the fuck? Like, and this is just for the arraignment. Once this shit starts moving, oh my Lord, dude. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Eat the rich! 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 Eat the rich!
4602?
Yeah, that was also in the summer too, when it's like much easier to just stand outside the fucking courtroom. New York Post claiming Mangione smiled as he entered the courtroom. False. He was pictured smiling while signing documents at the end of the hearing. Public section was also racially very diverse. A reporter remarked that more people showed up in support of Mangione than Trump. See? I'm telling you, dude. There's more supporters than Kamala voters. I wonder why. Because, and I can't stress this enough, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, okay? This is an issue that transcends beyond political allegiances. It transcends beyond identity politics. It is far more consequential for Americans. Okay? They see this as violence being dished out by the systems against their own immediate family members. Americans have no systemic analysis, okay? Americans have no class consciousness, and Americans are deeply selfish. But because the for-profit healthcare industry is so expansive and so harmful that it has universalized the harm for each and every American. That's why I say even other fucking CEOs are like, yeah, I don't know. It ain't that bad. I'm not that mad. You know what I mean? It's something that has basically streamlined the harm to such a degree, universalized that pain by impacting virtually every single fucking American. That they can comprehend this as a very different. They can comprehend this as a very different situation than how they would normally react if like some guy killed another person in broad fucking daylight. America is a very draconian nation, okay? I'm telling you this. In all of my years of doing political commentary, as someone who believes in rehabilitation over incarceration, as someone who believes that America has to change its trajectory on the way we dish out punishment for crimes. This is an area where I probably get the most resistance, even from progressive-minded Americans. This and gun control are the two things that even leftist, quote-unquote, leftist Americans cannot understand. They're like, what are you talking about? We have to kill every fucking criminal. Okay? So even in that like mindset that many Americans have, they can still recognize who is responsible for more deaths than Luigi Mangione in this situation. And they see it as the CEO. You cannot hide this harm under the systemic structures. You cannot hide it by saying, well, it's just like, you don't have to be a radical communist to be upset at healthcare, you know? What is this? Oh, Gianmarco Ceresi was on the leaning. Gianmarco Ceresi is a comic, and he was on local news, and he was talking about Luigi.
You know, you gotta, the holidays are tough.
I know.
Sometimes I was supposed to spend it with my cousin, but he got caught up at work. But if you're watching, we're proud of you, Luigi.
Show Marco.
Please come to the show and let's just celebrate this year. We didn't get everything we wanted, but we did get one.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'll get back to the Kyle Rittenhouse take in a second. finally you appreciate us Italians. Dude, my love for Italians has grown tremendously in the last couple of months. Let's just say I have endless respect for my Italian brothers and sisters. You understand me?
Just noticed. Well, you know, believe it or not, this is unintentional. It's just my poster.
Natalie?
Now we know also from here inside so hard. Free Luigi! Free Luigi! Free Luigi!
The people united, planet over profit. The people united, planet over profit. United, planet over profit. The people united, planet over.
One CEO, one billionaire, right, gets murdered, and this is how they treat that one person. No, right?
My man's got the Wario hat on. That's hilarious. Kaya updates. My brother is picking her up right now. I think he just picked her up. Doing fine. Korea started a new movement against Elon. Yeah, I saw that.
Are you asking me to say what?
This is a lawyer doing a video about jury nullification. We got YouTube lawyers chiming in on it now. Okay. But before we get to that, staying on the message of broad audience positive reception that is frustrating people in positions of power, Luigi Mangione was featured on SNL once again. Now remember, last time he was featured on SNL, they talked about how hypocritical it is that he went to Starbucks and McDonald's. Wait, hold on. One second. Oh, sorry. I'm texting my brother. Yeah. They were making a joke about how like he went to Starbucks and he went to McDonald's even though he hates corporations or whatever. But this week SNL had another feature for Luigi Mangione. Okay? And the audience was broadly positive.
Luigi Mangione dropped. Yeah, definitely woo. You're woo.
Colin Jost feeling uncomfortable as the SNL libbed up audience is cheering for Luigi Mangione is so funny. Like, don't look upset. You know, 2 related takes of this Joss clip. Don't look upset, man.
Going for justice, right? Luigi Mangione dropped his extradition fight and was flown from Pennsylvania to New York to face multiple charges. In related news, Bumble exploded.
It's a bit, bro. He's joking. I think he's joking because why would he joke about him being hot?
Yeah.
Let me see the whole thing. Let me see the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely woo. You're wooing for justice, right? Luigi Mangione dropped his extradition fight and was flown from Pennsylvania to New York to face multiple charges. In related news, Bumble exploded. Luigi Mangione.
It could be. It is part of the bit, I think. The immediate follow-up joke is him joking about how he's hot. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's fair. He's joking. He's clearly doing the half-ass civility veneer. Bro, please do not tell me you also do not understand Colin is joking here. This was very obviously rehearsed. He's not actually surprised it was a joke. The next 5 seconds, he jokes about him being hot. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
What is this?
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Bugs Life or is it ants? Hopper, A Bug's Life. That movie radicalized me as a child. A Bug's Life. Word. Using the Bug's Life speech over this Luigi Mangione edit was so fucking real, actually.
Let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
God damn. Ants is just about if Woody Allen was an ant. A Bug's Life literally is 7 Samurai, but with bugs. Yep. We should do a Bug's Life watch party. It's one of the most communist. There was that ant. Is one of the, if I remember correctly from my childhood, it's like a communist manifesto, isn't it?
That stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
Well, how about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Damn. For your information, that's Kevin Spacey. That makes it even better, don't it? AOC watched this as a kid. If we want Star Trek, we will have to do it, not ask for it. All right, let's continue.
You let.
That's how those CEO trauma therapy groups look like. All right, let's hear about jury nullification and
Whether
Luigi
I feel
Mangione.
sympathetic or not.
Very disturbing breaking news out of New York City for you right now. CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson.
Police in Pennsylvania today arrested a person of interest in the killing, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione.
How hard do you think it's going to be to get a jury for his trial?
I think, all right, so I guess you want to talk. So this brings to jury nullification. Let's say Luigi Mangione, he has a criminal case. Assuming he did it and that is him in the video, if he pleads not guilty and the jury...
He's so funny. This is lawyer speak. I mean, saying all the right shit. How the hell do you babysit all 33,000 of us? First of all, it's 533. And secondly, I'm the best paid babysitter in the nation.
Jury all believes that he did it.
Also, a lot of people behave like babies, but many of you are adults. Some of you are even older than me, as a matter of fact.
Two, do they decide, hey, we're still not going to convict him because we're okay with his actions? If that happens, that is totally okay. It is not something that a court will overturn and say, look, he did it. What do you mean, jury? Jury nullification is part of our American civil and criminal justice system. Jury nullification essentially means that the jury decides the law was violated, but they don't care. It is not the taboo thing that you might think it is. Jury nullification, boo. Prosecutors get worried about jury nullification because they want the jury to follow the law and convict. But jury nullification isn't something that's generally planned. What really happens is the jury, who's independent, who's honest, who's reliable, who is willing to follow the law, when they sit and take the oath, they start to hear things and they go, huh, this isn't exactly what I thought it was. If y'all don't know who Dr. Kevorkian is, he was someone who would help people commit assisted suicide, end their lives. But the government doesn't allow that. Those jurors that got picked for his trials, which I believe there were 4 of them, fact check me in the comments here, 3 times in a row, he was found not guilty because the jury said, we don't think that should be a crime. During the 60s and 70s, white people were charged with crimes against black people. All white juries said, yeah, that guy did it, but we're not going to convict him. That's jury nullification. Jury nullification is not something that is routine or common, but it happens. It isn't a cloak and dagger, mysterious, crazy thing. It's something that just naturally happens, and our system allows for it. If the jury finds a criminal defendant not guilty, even if they didn't follow the law, the case is over. In a criminal case, there has to be a unanimous verdict to convict someone. Now, what happens if the jury can't be unanimous? They can't all agree to convict, or they all can't agree that the person is not guilty.
My brother in Allah, that tree's about to fall over. No, it's not.
Notice I didn't say innocent. I said not guilty. That is a hung jury. If there's a hung jury, the person can be tried again. If there's a hung jury the second time, they can be prosecuted again and again and again. Whether the state would use those resources to do that, that's another decision. If the state believes that they cannot find 12 jurors to all be unanimous, then they should give up. But keep in mind, district attorneys who control the prosecutors in the office and the budget strings need to do that wisely. And if they don't, they will be voted out. If a district attorney keeps authorizing his office or her office to bring charges and try a case over and over and over, at some point the public outcry is going to be, what are you doing? When I think of who's the perfect juror for the Luigi Mangione case, I'm looking for someone who knows nothing about health insurance, so maybe younger juror, someone who doesn't have any history of their family being sick or injured and having to use health insurance. People's experiences are going to be different in a way that they can relate to different people. I'm more middle of the road on this. I mean, to be honest, I see it with clients all the time. You know, I've had a client who was denied Vicodin pills after a surgery because he didn't have pre-approval for the Vicodin pills. People come at it from a personal perspective, right? They're saying, I'm really pissed off about what's happened to me, my family, and you are the antithesis of that. So when something bad happens to you, I've seen the extremes of calling the CEOs of health insurance companies mass murderers because they are choosing whether to give or not give treatment that someone may need to live. I 100,000,000,000% think health insurance should be provided through the federal government.
But Mike, the federal government sucks.
I think the government should provide and regulate things that you need to survive. You need water. You need energy. I think that health
is crazy that this guy, like this is propaganda of the deed in action. You're watching a guy cover jury nullification. He's just like he's a personal injury lawyer on YouTube covering jury nullification. And the conversation literally sidesteps into his own personal assumption, his own personal opinion on his own personal opinion on how medicine and healthcare should be fucking up to the government. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. The very fact that these conversations are taking place is once again propaganda of the deed.
Insurance, health care is a right you have as a person. The real question here, and if I'm the prosecutor, here's the question that I say in my opening statement. Assuming that he did it, right? Assuming that the proof is there, I think the question is, are we as a society going to allow people to deliver what they think is justice, to be judge, jury, and executioner? That is the question that really needs to be answered here. Depending on what facts come out, could I be sympathetic to Luigi Mangione? Maybe, but I'm never going to be the person that takes the leap and then says committing a crime against someone is acceptable. When you make that decision, though, to go and execute someone, have vigilante justice, you have to also accept the consequences. I think there are people out there that will say, I'm okay with what action he did. I'm okay with what he did. You have to also be okay with the penalty. I mean, action, consequence.
Suspected United Health.
Now we're going to get to Legal Eagle. You don't just want the legal team, you want the Eagle team.
Killer Luigi Mangione has been charged with terrorism. But why? And also, why are federal prosecutors also indicting and prosecuting Mangione? Well, a New York State grand jury indicted Mangione on multiple charges related to the December 4th, 2024 shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The charges included first-degree murder in the furtherance of terrorism and second-degree murder as a crime of terrorism, as well as additional counts of criminal possession of a weapon and possession of a forged instrument. Now, the terrorism charges are notable. The prosecutors argue that Mangione committed the murder to intimidate or coerce a civilian population or influence government policy, violating New York's anti-terrorism statutes. Mangione has been extradited to New York to face these charges. His attorney, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, has indicated plans to contest the charges, asserting that DA Alvin Bragg overcharged Mangione. At the time of his arrest, authorities found a 3D printed ghost gun, a suppressor, and a handwritten manifesto expressing animosity towards the U.S. healthcare system. Now, as usual for my substantive questions about New York criminal law, I've reached out to former AUSA and current New York criminal defense lawyer Mitch Epner about the indictments and why the feds are involved. So Mitchell, what we have here looks like a pretty straightforward murder case, so why would Alvin Bragg decide to add the terrorism charge?
Well, let me start, Devin, by agreeing with you. This is a very strange choice by the prosecution. They may have managed to indict Mr. Mangione for the one crime that he has a good defense to. The reason for bringing a murder one charge, which is a very particular thing under New York law, as opposed to a murder two charge, is I think they want the headlines of saying that they charged him with murder one as opposed to murder two. And we can talk in a moment about what the substantive differences are between them. But the most basic difference in terms of if they get a conviction is if he is convicted of murder one under these circumstances, the required punishment will be life without the possibility of parole. Whereas if he's only convicted of murder two without the special circumstances of terrorism, there would be the possibility that 20 years down the road, he would be eligible for parole. Having said that, I cannot imagine a circumstance under which Mr. Mangione would be considered a good candidate for parole at any point in his life.
Is there any substantive difference between murder two and murder one with the terrorism charge?
Yeah, that's the big thing. There is a difference in penalty because if convicted of murder one on the basis of terrorism, then the penalty is required to be life without possibility of parole.
Okay, and if Mangione is convicted of murder two and was up for parole, do you think he would be continually denied?
I think it's the latter. I think that if he is convicted on murder two, and he lives long enough to see his parole date, there would be a pro forma parole hearing 20 years from now, 30 years from now, and it would be like the early scenes in Shawshank Redemption where they just rubber stamped denied each time.
What makes someone a good or bad candidate for parole?
A bad candidate for parole is somebody who committed a crime of violence, check, who did it with malice aforethought, check, and who seemed to show no remorse, check. No matter what he does in the future, I cannot imagine a situation where a parole board would say this man, Luigi Mangione, appears to have understood that what he did was wrong, since he seems so clearly at this moment to believe that what he did was right.
So what does the prosecution need to prove for murder one with the terrorism aggravated factor on top of what they would normally need to show for murder in the second degree?
So murder in the second degree is very simple. You intended to kill somebody. You did it intentionally, you didn't do it in self-defense. That is as open and shut a case as I can imagine, because they have Mr. Mangione doing it on videotape, approaching somebody from behind, shooting him 3 times, starting in his leg, and then shooting him twice in the back. And I take at face value the public disclosures that they have many different ways to tie Mr. Mangione to the murder, including the fact that he was found in possession of the murder weapon. So that is as open and shut a murder 2 case as I can imagine. Murder 1, on the other hand, will require proof as to what Mr. Mangione was thinking at the time he did this. And they would have to prove, and I'm reading now, intent to intimidate or coerce a civilian population, influence the policy of a unit of government by intimidation or coercion, or affect the conduct of a unit of government. And that is a very hard thing to prove. They will have to prove that when he...
Oh my God. Things are happening. Former President Bill Clinton hospitalized with fever. Oh my God. If one of my predictions on... Oh my God. No way. No fucking way. No fucking way. This was in my 2024 yearly predictions. Oh my God. No fucking way. Oh my God. Dude, what the fuck? Where were the predictions? Mitch McConnell dies, Jimmy Carter dies, Bill Clinton dies. Those are the 3 deaths I predicted. I also said the other day when we looked back on my predictions, I was like, the year ain't over yet. But MSNBC says it's not urgent. It's not urgent.
Killed Mr. Thompson. He didn't do it because he hated Mr. Thompson alone, or because he hated the way Mr. Thompson ran United Healthcare alone, but rather that he had some broader policy agenda to intimidate people in order to change the way in which government worked or the general populace conducted themselves. That's a very hard thing to do. One of the basic things that I was taught as a trial practitioner is keep it simple, stupid. The KISS principle. If you can win your case by proving 4 things, don't try to increase the degree of difficulty by proving 12 things. The increase in what they have to prove here is enormous, and I think it violates the KISS principle very fundamentally.
It's reported that Mangione's manifesto reads, quote, "Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable largest company in the US by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy. No, the reality is this indecipherable have simply gotten too powerful, and that they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because..."
We don't know if he wrote that. We don't know if he wrote that. I'm just saying, we don't know if he wrote that. You know what I mean? Do we? Do we know if he wrote that for sure? Very irresponsible for the Eagle team to not slap that with an allegedly. You know what I mean?
The public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have the space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument, but many have illuminated corruption and greed decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. So is it possible that a jury could look at these writings and conclude beyond reasonable doubt that by executing the CEO of United Healthcare, he did intend to bring about some kind of change in U.S. healthcare for the purposes of the terrorism aggravated factor?
They'd have to prove much more than that. They would have to prove not just that he intended to bring about change, but that he intended to do it by intimidating the people in the government. It's not enough to raise the issue and say, hey, here are the things that I think are bad about United Healthcare, why I'm deciding to kill this person. But they essentially have to put the people in government in fear that if they don't act to make the changes that he's advocating, that they will get killed also. That's what a terrorism enhancement looks like.
Now, obviously, if you're charged with terrorism, you'll want a good lawyer. But if you want a great lawyer, let my law firm, the Eagle team,
That's
help.
crazy.
If you've gotten in a car crash, suffered a data breach, especially got a data breach letter saying your information might have been leaked, or are dealing with a workers' comp or social security issue, we can represent you or help find you the right attorney. Because it's so important to talk to a lawyer right away so you can maximize your recovery. And by the way, we don't get paid unless you do, so there's nothing up front. So just click on the link in the description or call the phone number on screen for a free consultation with my team. Because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle team. It seems to me that one reason of including murder in the first degree with a terrorism aggravated factor is that the prosecution's very confident that they will get a conviction on murder too, which is a lesser included offense. What do you think about that?
That's possible.
Everything you just said about terrorism enhancement fits the Paul Pelosi hammer guy, but not Luigi. I think that the terrorism enhancement, in my opinion, is going to make it harder to prosecute. I swear you were insinuating Luigi did it a week ago. Do you be joking? I don't even know what you're talking about. Allegedly. Allegedly. It is all alleged.
You guys know
what is this? The failure, fear, and frenzy around Luigi Mangione. This got 1.8 million views. What the fuck?
Do it next to a jerk. This
is an entire comedy special around Luigi Mangione. What the fuck?
I think it's also highly possible that they've done it because they want the headlines of saying they're seeking murder in the first degree.
Now, by bringing in this terrorism charge, is it possible that the prosecutors are making their lives unnecessarily difficult in a way that might backfire?
So there are a couple of additional thoughts. One is that the problem for the prosecution in doing it this way is when they make his intent not just relevant, but an element of the crime, they're going to give him, if they go to trial, the world's biggest soapbox to say,
artificial dumbass. I'm not going to watch a 1 hour comedy
all
special.
of these things. And that is raising the possibility of jury nullification. Jurors may or may not agree with what he did. Some jurors might identify with Mr. Thompson, but some jurors might think,
I mean, that's, you know,
that United Healthcare is a really awful organization and have sympathy with Mr. Mangione, or at least Mr. Mangione's grievances against United Healthcare. All of that could have been kept out of a Murder 2 trial, and all of that would have to come into a Murder 1 trial. And then the second thing is, Mr. Mangione has as his attorney Karen Friedman Agnifilo, who is was a veteran of about 30 years in the Manhattan DA's office. She left relatively recently. She is as well-versed, well-connected, and well-experienced a lawyer as you're going to find. And I suspect that any good defense argument she will raise. They do not have a walkover here. They have a very skilled advocate on the other side.
And any idea when this trial will be scheduled and actually take place?
I have no idea when trial will take place. I am certain that the defense, given the fact that that Mr. Mangione will be held without bail, almost certainly at Rikers, which is about as bad a place as you can find on the planet, will want to have trial as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Mitch, but hold tight because I have a few questions about the federal prosecution as well. Now, the Department of Justice has also indicted Mangione of murder.
Kai's here. Murad is a little sad and says that it's heartbreaking seeing her like this. She's zooted out of her mind right now. Should we just put her on the couch? But I want to keep in close contact. Like I want to make sure that I can. She got the cone of shame, and she has apparently a massive incision. I haven't even seen it yet. Maybe I can put her here next to me. You guys won't be able to see her, but. What? Girl. Lay down. Oh my God. Oh, my poor baby. She's wagging her tail a little bit. My poor baby. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're gonna be all right. We're gonna get you a better cone too. Oh, she looks so zooted. Oh my God. Okay, I put her bed right next to me. You won't be able to see her, but WAG capacity decreased by 75%, Captain. Yeah, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. The inflatable donut looking ones are so much better. My dog legit could sleep with it, no problem. I think right now it doesn't take much for her to sleep, okay? Is she sick? No, she just got done with surgery. She got a gastropexy and a spaying. Oh, my little lady. My little lady. Okay. Switch to overhead camera. We need to have eyes on her 24/7. You won't be able to see her even with the wide shot. Oh, you can actually. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, she got the tummy tuck. She got the tummy tuck and the Okay, she's already fallen asleep. That's good. I feel like we shouldn't be up here. Get her a bigger bed, man. Lol. I have... Okay, calm down. Okay? What is this? The cone you need? That's stupid. You're dumb for this. That's funny. Maybe I can do this. Hold on. Let me figure this out real quick. I can do a Kaya cam on. Hold on. It's not like she's gonna be moving anytime soon, you know what I mean? There it is. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Boom. Is perfect. She's so perfect. Oh, she's fallen off a little bit off the side of the bed with her head. With her head. Do you think she needs a bigger? Do you think what? Okay. I haven't even seen her belly yet. Oh, she's drowsy. Her head is falling. Her head's falling off the side. How long is the recovery process? She is. Oh God. It is heartbreaking. It's gonna be 2 weeks. Is she snoring? Oh, I'll do it later. Anyway, she's a sleepy girl. When my dog had surgery, I cut up a super plush blanket into the shape of the cone and sewed a cone cover that was ultra comfy. The donut cone didn't work because I have whippet and her neck is long as fuck. They shaved her little belly. You can see. Okay, we're gonna get back to Luigi Mangione right now. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her a cone right now. All right, let's continue.
Through the use of a firearm, 2 stalking charges, and a firearms offense. The federal prosecutors claimed jurisdiction because Mangione traveled in interstate commerce when he took a bus from Atlanta to New York before the shooting. And the indictment alleges that he used interstate facilities by using a cell phone and the internet to plan and carry out the stalking, shooting, and killing of Brian Thompson in the vicinity of West 54th Street and 6th Avenue in Manhattan. And as part of that showing, they charged Mangione with 2 counts of stalking. Basically, the federal prosecutors seem to be establishing that they have jurisdiction for the prosecution. Now, some of the highlights of the affidavit by FBI agent David Cobb include a photograph of the gun that agents found with Mangione, a handwritten diary with entries such as, quote, "I'm glad in a way that I've procrastinated because it allowed me to learn more about acronym for company number 1. The notebook entry also stated that the target is insurance because it checks every box." And quote, "The investor conference is a true windfall, and most importantly, the message becomes self-evident." And later on in the entry, the notebook describes an intent to, quote, whack the CEO of one of the insurance companies at the investor conference. There's also a letter addressed to the, quote, feds, which reads, quote, I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, and a lot of patience. The Fed letter also states, quote, P.S. You can check serial numbers to verify this is all self-funded, my own ATM withdrawals. Now, needless to say, this does not look good for Mangione from a criminal defense perspective. So let's go back to Mitch Ebner. Mitch, why do you think it was important for the feds to indict for the same conduct here?
I would absolutely expect that once the Trump administration is in place, that they will seek the death penalty against Mr. Mangione.
That is nuts, by the way. I mean, that is actually fucking, oh God, that's so whack.
Which is, as I just said, a penalty that would not be available if there were prosecution under New York state law.
And who's likely to prosecute first, the federal government or the state?
I know for a fact that there are laws and rules about how the decision gets made by the courts about which prosecution goes first. I imagine that over the next few weeks and months, that will be sorted out. Ordinarily, this gets sorted out by an agreement amongst the prosecutors about which case will go first. So under those circumstances, ordinarily you would expect that the state and the feds would decide who went first. Here, given the relationship between the New York law enforcement authorities who prosecuted Donald Trump only recently.
His background, his noise gate is ass. So when he's talking, the background audio is like crazy.
In Manhattan DA's office, and the Trump DOJ, I'm not certain that that will be a easy conversation. We'll keep paying attention.
Thanks so much, Mitch. It's always incredible to talk to people who have a completely different point of reference when it comes to the law. Now, this video was only possible with the help of today's sponsor, Nebula. Now, my first video on the United Health murder and Luigi Mangione was completely demonetized.
I'm gonna do what do you call it? Ethical reacts.
And age-gated on YouTube. 1.1 million people watched the first video in the first day, and then basically no one else saw it afterwards. In that video, I showed the surveillance footage, and apparently YouTube didn't like that, which is crazy because it was blurred, and according to community guidelines, it shouldn't have been a problem. But I don't have to worry about that on Nebula, the streaming site that my friends and I created from scratch. On Nebula, you can watch all of our videos ad-free and early because our videos always go up on Nebula first. Plus, there's tons of exclusive content, and for a limited time, you can get a lifetime membership. You can buy once and then never again. It's the greatest deal of all. And if you're new...
All right.